Okay, welcome back to the Dublin Academy of Maths. Now don't forget, dublinacademy@gmail.com is where you're going to get me. Now we're looking at here is a few questions, functions, and we're doing composite functions. Now composite functions is when one function is equals to another, but we're going to get to it eventually anyway. Well, we're going to get to it at the end of this. This is 2006 question 8b, and it says h of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 1. That's a quadratic. Simplify it. H of x minus 5. Now that means that I'm going to show you how to do this, but everywhere you see x, you put x minus 5. Okay? And you get another quadratic. If you want to get a cubic equation. Now find the value of x for which h of x minus 5, so whatever value you get here, whatever cubic equation you get here, or whatever it turns out to be, is equal to h of x again, this again, minus 5. Okay, so find the value of x. So this is going to be a rather long equation. Well, mind your signs. 21, question 21. F of x is equal to 3x minus 4 for what value of k is f of k plus f of 2k equal to 0. Now what does that mean? Well, you just have to put in f of x is equal to this, so you just put k in for x. I just want to check that question 21. Yeah, so you just put k in for x, right? And then whatever value you get for that, then you put in 2k. Okay, so it's a kind of a messing, right? They could just put f of x, so you just have to change everything for k and say 3k minus 4 plus 3 times 2k minus 4 is equal to 0, and then solve it for k. 22. Now as I said before, if you have a problem with any questions and you're paying me, as I say, it's 20 euros per series, I will get back to you. I will answer these questions because I'm going to have a tablet. A function is defined by f of x is equal to the square root of x squared plus 8. Now that's included. The 8 is included in that. So, right, evaluate f of 2, so you put 2 in for it. Evaluate f of 8, you put in f of 8 for x squared, and you see what you get. So 2 squared is 4 plus 8 is 12 square root. Okay, so it's going to be 3 times root 4, or root 3 times root 4. And you remember these from surds. So 3 squared, if I put in 2 squared, it's going to be the square root of 4 plus 8. Which is equal to the square root of 12, which is equal to the square root of, I'm going off here, square root of 3 times the square root of 4, square root of 4 is 2, which is equal to 2 times the square root of 3. And we did these on surds, so don't complain if you can't see it, you know how these are done. Now it says, whatever values you get for here, you multiply them and make it equal to k of 16, k times root 16. So you have to find k here, right? And these are just put f of 2 in for that, and then whatever answer you get, you put f of 8 in for it, and whatever answer you get, then the next step is, so that's part 1, part 2 is, you multiply them out and you make them equal to k times this, and you solve for k. Okay? 23, f of x is equal to 1 plus 2 over x. 1 is not attached to the 2, it's 1 over 1, not 1 over x. Now find f of 1 over 5, which is a fifth, so you put a fifth in for x. Okay, now you see what you have here. You got 2 over a fifth, which is the same as 2 over 1 divided by 1 over 5. Turn it upside down, it becomes 2 over 1 multiplied by 5 over 1. Okay, so it means 10. The answer to that one. Well, not the answer, but you know how to solve that fraction. Find the values of f of x for which f of x is equal to x. So I'm going to make that equal to x. So it's going to be multiply everything across by the LCM. In this case, it's going to be x. Okay, so you can solve that out there. Right, great. So I'll just move this across, and we're going to do a quick question here. Now, so this is 2012. It's paper 1. It's question 2c, and it says g of x is equal to 1 over x squared minus 1 over 2 of x. Okay, and it says h of x, I'm going to put it up here, h of x is equal to 1 minus 2 over x. Alright, so it's not attached to it now. It is attached, but it's not on x. Right, so 1 minus 2 over x, yeah, g of x is 1 over x squared minus 1 over 2 of x. And it says show that h of x is equal to minus 2x times g of x. We had something similar like this before. So it's actually, well, we haven't got any values for x here, okay? And you're looking at this, what are you going to do? Well, you just follow your nose, okay? So you just write everything down, show that h of x is equal to do this, okay? Well, we know what h of x is, okay? So we'll find out. Minus 2 times x times g of x. What's g of x? 1 over x squared minus 1 over 2 of x. I know you're probably saying to yourself, what's happening here? Okay, what do I do next? Well, you know this is 2 over 1. You should know how to solve this, okay? So this is minus 2x multiplied the top by the top because it's all over 1 and the bottom by the bottom. So this is minus 2x over x squared. Minus by a plus is a minus. Minus by a minus is a plus. 2x by 1 is 2x all over 2x. Right? Now, what are you going to do here? You got x squared here. Well, let me put this another way. You got minus 2 times x all over x squared. X by x, you just cancel. They cancel, right? Okay, but I just normally do this, right? So it's 2 over x. I just cancel the power. 2 over x. And 2x into 2x, well, 2x could be any number, but they're all relevant. So they go into each other once. Okay? So you're left with minus 2 over x plus 1. Is that the same as? Yes. Okay, it's just turned around. Minus 2 over x. See? So it's the same as h of x. Right? So you have proved that this is equal to h of x. Right? Okay. Okay, next part it says find the values. Find the values. It's continuing on. Okay? Find the values of x for which g of x is equal to h of x. So I'm going to get my values and I'm going to go, well, what's g of x? Remember what g of x was 1 over x squared minus 1 over 2 of x is equal to h of x, which is equal to 1 minus 2 over x. Now, look what this is. It's got an equal sign. So the LCM, the lowest common multiple, is a combination of all of these bottom ones, which is x squared by 2x by x. Now, I don't need to include all these, okay? I'm looking for my highest numbers here, my highest terms. 2 is my highest, so I have to include 2. X squared, I'm including the next highest power, which is x squared. I don't need to include x again because x goes into x squared, x times. Actually, x goes into 2x squared 2x times, right? So that's my LCM. So I have to multiply everything across by my LCM, which is 2x squared. Now, you have to be very careful doing this, right? So you got 2x squared times 1, which is all over x squared, minus 2x squared. I'm not going to put in the 1 because it doesn't need to be there, is equal to 1 times, again, 2x squared, minus 2 times 2x squared, all over x. Right? Okay? Now, this is minus 2 times 2x squared is minus 4x squared. I'm not going to rewrite the line, but you know what I'm getting at. Minus 4x squared. Now I can do my cancelling. X squared cancels with x squared. Now, look at this. So, let's get rid of the x first. Now, this is not going to be, this is tricky, right? So, 2 goes into 2 once. I'm left with x. Okay? So, remember, 2x squared divided by 2x is not going in once. It goes in x times because there were uneven powers here. Okay, 2x squared. X goes into 4x squared. X 4x times. Okay, so I cancel the x. There's a 1 here, bring it up, and it's minus 1. It's an indice rule, you know this. I'll rewrite it x squared minus 1 because you're bringing it up and you're changing the sign. Okay, so I rewrite this out and I'm left with 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Right? It's a quadratic, so I have to factorize the 2x squared. Now this is kind of a bit more difficult on a quadratic, and I'm looking at the factors of minus 2, the last term. So the factors of minus 2 is 1 by minus 2 minus 1 by 2. Right, now I'm looking where to slot. I'm looking at minus 3, the coefficient is minus 3. Right? I'm looking at the factors of minus 2, the last term, when added will give me minus 3x, the coefficient of the middle term, which is minus 3. So I'm looking at 2x and x, and I'm looking at minus here because this is going to work. This is the one that has to work because it's higher, and I'm looking for a minus. So now 2x by minus 2 is going to give me minus 4x. Plus 1x is going to give me minus 3x. Okay, so there's my answer. Okay, so I can prove that by multiplying the interiors and multiplying the exteriors, minus 4x, and adding them, and the answer is minus 3x. Now if you're unsure about quadratics, I suggest you sit down with a book or look it online, look for quadratics and start solving them. Okay, don't go use really weird quadratics because they're roughly all the same. Anyway, well, so long as you make sure that they're in this form. And this form is ax squared plus bx plus c. And make sure it's all equal to 0. Right, so, and that's it now. Okay, so for the next day, we'll be continuing on doing functions. Do those questions. Thank you.